The Team FX Primus Aliso crew took the late-night flight to Haneda Airport from Kuala Lumpur. It was a long 7-hour flight. Day 1 at Fuji, and the guys got to an early start. After Indonesia, the team decided to change the engine and have found a suitable replacement. The crew immediately went to work, getting the car unpacked from the container and onto the flatbed truck to Tomei Sports, a garage known for building chassis and race cars in Japan. Once there, the process began.
The engine is quite similar to the road car. It produces 570 horsepower. The only difference is fuel system, air intake and exhaust of this car. The engine is mated to an E-gear, 6-speed transmission and is capable to achieving speeds of over 300 km per hour.
That is the sweetest sound. Just a few short hours ago, the team was finishing work on the engine swap. And now, it's time to pack up for the night and finally get some dinner. A few hours away at the Tokyo International Airport, the drivers arrived. As Dominic Ang had personal commitments to fulfill, the team was able to get Afiq Yazid to step in from the Fuji race on. The team wasted no time in getting Afiq familiarized with the car. And finally, the moment of truth. The first practice session is underway, and Zen was the first to get into the car to try out the new engine. Not long after heading out, Zen is back in the pit, completing just 3 laps. Afiq too did not have much track time. Afiq had to be towed back into the pit after a technical glitch caused an engine shutdown right at the last turn. Just 2 hours remain to qualifying, and the crew needs to figure out and resolve the issue within that time.
But the good thing was our mechanic did a great job to get the car going for the qualifying.
After Afiq started the session for the team, they soon discovered that following the official's wet race declaration proved to be a bad call. Despite having his fair share of spills, Afiq managed to maintain control of the bull. Minutes later, it was Zen's turn for the qualifying session.
I only managed to secure P8, and that's the best we can do for today.
With barely a minute to spare, tires went on and Zen was ready for an epic race battle.
I had a good start. From P6 I jumped to P4. I overtook 2 cars just before turn 1. Unfortunately, the car behind me just didn't slow down enough, hit me in turn 1 and took me out sideways, and I lost 3 positions. When they start going over the place, and that's where I start overtaking every one of them bike. So I managed to get my position back to P6, and then it was time for me to box.
Push the max all the way, and then I overtook one by one. From P6 to P2, it's not a very easy task. So yeah.
Race 2 at Fuji Speedway and the 6th race of the season, Zen was once again to start the race. The engine swap on Lamborghini proved to be a good decision as the car felt a lot better. The tough start to the weekend was rewarded with 2 podium finishes, and coincidentally, it was during the Merdeka celebrations in Malaysia, leaving Zen and Afiq to dedicate their win to Malaysia. The 2014 Lamborghini Blancpain Super Trofeo Asia Series heads to the first of 2 China events, this time at the southern coast of Guangdong at the Zhuhai International Circuit. Once at the pit, the boys immediately settled in and started with the race preparation. There was another worry for the crew. The temperatures at the circuit are expected to climb over the week into the weekend. Both the drivers and engineers have a growing concern over the weather and the increasing temperatures that are causing severe wear to the brakes. For the safety of both the drivers, to completely replace the brake disc and pads before the next session.
The Super Trofeo uses Brembo Racing 6-pot brake calipers for the front and the 4-pot at the rear. The front disc size are 375mm and the rear is 355mm in size. The car is also fitted with Bolin TTX 36-point compression and ribbon adjustable suspension for the maximum handling capabilities. Because of the heavy braking, this car needs a cooling fan for the brake, and this is the fan.
It's the morning of qualifying, and it's time to wake the little bull up from slumber. The car was prepped and warmed up for the qualifying session. Afiq was the first in the hot seat, literally, as the temperatures were higher than the day before, rising all the way to 45 degrees.
Yeah, my first qualifying was really good. I'm so happy we secured the pole position.
As the temperature kept rising, the team decided that the fastest lap set by Afiq was enough to hold off the competitors. The car only had slightly more than 10 minutes to cool down before Zen took it out for qualifying 2.
Very hot weather today, but when Afiq handed over the car to me, the rear fan pump was broken, so I was struggling with brakes, and my brakes was not working properly.
It was great to see car number 69 on the front row of the grid. Then they were off.
I had a really good start, and then Akihiko Nakaya overtook me.
Afiq maintained a steady pace behind Akihiko Nakaya in car number 11. Then 3 laps into the race, Nakaya had a puncture, spun and crashed into the safety barrier. Afiq once again led the race. Afiq was told to keep on pushing until the last possible moment before coming in to pass driving duties to Zen. Once again, the brakes were already heating, and the team tried their best to keep the car cool during the changeover.
The minute I call for second gear, I want to brake, there's no brake, zero. We're already 2 laps down, so there's not much you can do, and just finish the race.
Disappointment registered on Zen's face as he parked the car in the pit at the end. It's day 2. Zen will start race 2 for the team from row 3. Zen had a good start and was immediately on pace with the front runners, overtaking 2 cars and then maintaining a steady pace. As the pit window opened, Zen brought the car in 5th and handed over driving duties to Afiq.
But then the luck not on our side. We had a puncture.
It was a very quick and efficient tyre change, but the race had progressed, relegating the team down 2 laps behind everyone else. Although the results were not the greatest, the team was happy with the outcome, showing that the spirit within the team remains strong.